Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we are on episode 46 of Evolve, which is crazy to think about, but it makes sense because we got, what, 3 more weeks, and then season one will be ending. We found that out on this episode, and then season two premiering right afterwards. I'm glad there's no, like, gap. I really hate when shows do that in general, but, like, especially for wrestling, because, like, the show is like one of those things where I feel like there's like a decent chunk of eyes on it, but the minute that something goes wrong or they take too much time off or something happens, it could just completely derail the whole thing. So we just got to hold on to it. So we started off the show with the PC talent talking about that they have the great advantage of winning the championship tonight against Jackson Drake, and that they were just being pigs in the locker room because Sean Legacy had to clean it. Honestly, even if Sean Legacy is a face and all that, I wouldn't have honored that deal because one, it's not even on the same week, so they have no power to make him do it, and it just kind of it's just kind of a shitty stipulation. Obviously, just to show how good of a guy Sean Legacy is and to get this little extra part. Storyline and everything about this, it's been pretty good. I think the thing that I've said before, I just feel like the whole point is that they should have had some women talent on here too, because this is kind of like the major storyline of Evolve, and like having one or two on each side would also make it way more in depth. And they tried that last week, and then they just completely got rid of it again this week, and I just don't understand why. I know it's a locker room, so this part wouldn't have been great, but for the brawl later in the main event, it could have been something that happened too. Just to get more bodies in there. I really feel like there's a quota to each episode to get as many people on there as humanly possible. This one's probably one of the top ones that have the most guys in it, and I think that's kind of what you need to do. Like, as long as you're not like paying these guys per show, they're just on salary or like on getting paid per year, so like get them on there as much as humanly possible, at least in my eyes. But I guess they don't always see it the same way. But put this up in B. Good way to start off the show. Kind of got us a little bit of a bridge from the last episode. And then I don't remember exactly the order of things on this one, but then the PC talent was, or that was the ID talent talking to the Vanity Project, saying that they needed to band together. And they were first hesitant, and then they decided the AD program that they were going to help him out and make sure he retains. I think I like that. It's kind of like the heels and the faces actually working together. I kind of wish we would have got a little bit more of that on the PC side, because it's just all heels, but this was a nice little part. They got Cappuccino a little bit. Now, the one part I will say, I believe somebody in Evolve watches this. It just really feels that way because I've complained about the stupid cowboy gimmicks. They took it away from Tate Wilder. He's not really a cowboy anymore. And now they took it away from Mike Cunningham. Please give it back to him if this is going to be what he's going to be. He's just a douchebag with the sunglasses thing. Like, I will say on a level of 1 to 0, or 1 to 0, on a 1 to 10, it was semi funny. I'd give it like a 3 or 4, but like it's one of those things that's going to be very extremely hard to get over, especially as a baby face. I don't really understand that call. Um, More power to him to try and see what works. I just felt like it was so weird compared to the other four guys there that are pretty strong. I like Eli Knight a lot. I watched him in his WXW debut, and he did solid there. And I think he's had some solid matches, obviously on NXT now. I wish he got a little bit of talking, but I wish he could get a little bit more. Obviously, Cappuccino Jones getting pushed towards that main event scene like he's been the whole entire since episode one. So I think that was all good. So I'd put this in a solid B, but the Mike Cunningham thing absolutely knocked it down a point. I just, not my thing. Then we got Sam Holloway versus Drake Monroe. Honestly, I believe the first match actually was it Tyra May still? Man, I have it right here. Let me just pull it up real fast. It's gonna screw it all up. It was Tyra May Steele. Okay, okay, okay. That's. I thought this was a little odd because I think those segments bridged out. That's the only problem doing it after watching it after a little bit of time. So it's Tyra May Steele versus Kylie Bright. This episode felt weird because they put people in matches where neither of them could afford a loss. Because Kylie Bright, they've been kind of really like hinting at her maybe getting a little bit of a push and like having that opportunity to go bridge on her own, to go out there and like possibly go with Kendall. Because That's the thing with Kendall. Kendall's booking is a little confusing between NXT and Evolve. Like she was a tag team wrestler in the original when Evolve started, and then they cut her into being like a single star, gave her that huge push, gave her a huge push in NXT as a single star, and now they kind of relegated her back to tag matches on NXT, and it was just like, why? I know she's still wrapping up her Evolve stuff, but I feel like we should we could have just had Carly Bright this whole entire time getting a push too. So it felt very weird to just get her fed to Tyra May Still. Tyra May Still again being on Evolve just kind of sucks for her because she won LFG, so she should have really gotten more than like the college try on NXT. She should have really gotten, I'd say, at least 10 matches. Like she literally has almost nothing. Like I obviously want her to succeed and do that in WWE, but for whatever reason she loses WWE and like leaves WWE, then it's going to be completely crazy that she never really got that many matches. It's just, I don't know. This match itself I thought was okay, very one-sided. Like I said, very weird things here because pretty much every match, maybe not necessarily the main event, but every other match felt like you shouldn't be putting these two guys together or these two girls together because both of them need wins. And yeah, that's kind of where we got here. The match just was okay. I'd put it in C. Then we had Sam Holloway versus Drake Monroe, or Minot. I don't even know how you say it because it's like Louisianan. I honestly kind of like both guys. Sam Holloway is from Memphis Wrestling, which I haven't been to, but it's like my home region of wrestling, so I should check him out next time he comes live here. Drake Monroe obviously was on LFG, dating Roxanne Perez, so he's got like at least a little bit of a swagger to him. It's honestly one of those matches that I feel like if you give them more than 5 minutes, it could have really been something. It was just so low in like time that like they kind of got some offense in it, but then it was just a quick ending. And Sam Holloway coming back after, being away for a little bit or like not being in part of the ID program, it just felt like he could have really used the win here. Especially like because he's has a little bit of momentum from the gauntlet match that I really thought he could get a win here. And obviously Drake could not lose here. And then Drake picked up the win, so it kind of put Sam Holloway in a weird spot. And then Drake got a good chunk, but like he doesn't really have any story, and I really think they should have put him with the PC talent that because I think that would have fit a little bit better. This match itself, I put in C. Just didn't have enough time to really get that second like area. It had some decent spots, but everything just kind of felt like okay, and then it just ended before you could really get into that the groove of anything. It kind of happens when they put 4 matches on the card. We've seen it happen plenty of times, and with all the segments that they had, which were pretty hefty in numbers, that kind of also made it more rough. Then we had Dante Chen versus Frill London. Again, Frill London came in here and not gotten any wins and no momentum. And Dante Chen was the measuring stick of Evolve. So obviously it was going to be one of those things where Dante Chen could not afford this loss. And Frill London just has absolute no momentum. Now, I play a lot of times, even on this channel, a game called TEW. It's like a wrestling game, kind of text-based. And that's a big thing in there is momentum and like your wrestlers and stuff. And you have to build it and figure it out when you can. And that's kind of what they don't do. Like, they really don't have those things here. Like, they would have probably even been safer to make it a tag match between the two men's matches and then just have somebody get blown out by both guys. And then that guy would never, like, if Road London got, double teamed all of a sudden and lost, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, but losing Dante Chen completely clean and really just never got that offense. It didn't work. The match itself wasn't really worthy to be that late on the card. If this was the opening match, I would have been okay, but I'm gonna have to put it down in D. I haven't really been too impressed by either person. I've liked Dante Chen's stuff in NXT, but I think everything that I've seen on Evolve, I haven't really been vibing with. We also had this backstage segment with Nikita Lyons and Ariana Grace being that they need to be good, so they were going to be nice to Layla Diggs and Mason Holiday. I honestly still kind of just waiting for this thing to cook. Like when they've been tagging together like at live events like a while ago, that now they're not really doing that anymore, and it doesn't feel like the storyline is like right there yet. So I don't know. I know Evolve's 4 weeks behind, but this feels like it's really far behind into actually like becoming something. I wouldn't mind. I mean, an all girl faction would be pretty awesome. But I really feel like the best part is to keep Nikita Lyons and Ariana Grace's heels, and then turn the other two heels if you're going to do that, because nobody's really going to vibe with Ariana Grace and Nikita Lyons' heels. So I'll put this segment in C. It was okay. I'm just still kind of baffled that they haven't pulled the trigger on whatever the hell they're doing with this segment. Then we go back to the PC locker room with Sean Legacy there. They go to clean. They go to help him clean and stuff, which is a nice moment. And then Itzgal comes and talks some smack, and he's gonna have a match against Aaron Rourke. That's mainly why I wanted to put it. We hadn't seen Itzgal in a bit. Itzgal against Aaron Rourke actually kind of feels a little bit fire. Like that can sneakily be a really good match. So I'm kind of pumped for that part. The segment itself was just okay, so I'll put it in B. Then we had a sit down for Kendall Gray and Carmen Petrovich, which they've been building up this rivalry pretty decent. It's taken a little longer than expected because I really thought we would have got the match last week, but then we didn't get it this week, and then it's the week after. So that part is a little frustrating. I really wish we would have got it a little sooner, but I hopefully something happens now with the whole like season finale and the season premiere. I just feel like they're not going to make a title change until they get to one of those events, because they're going to need the storyline, and putting somebody brand new in there, it's going to be very hard to get it flipped. So I'll put the sit down segment in a solid B. The match, I'm gonna say I'm pretty pumped for it. I'm gonna put it up in A. It could really be good if Kendall can really get Carmen to go above and beyond. And then speaking of season finales, I think that's a really cool thing. I mean, it's cool that like they're gonna put it as a season, and season one will wrap up. Probably if wanted, I could maybe do a tier list on every episode. I would be a little bit of watching some episodes back, and also some of the videos back and cage match and stuff to get it. So it'd be a little bit of a longer video, but if it's something that you guys would want, we could review all of them going into the season, like all episodes from 1 to probably 149 it should be, probably, I think, with 3 weeks to go. So we could possibly do that, put it up in A, and then we have Secession 2, their PLE type thing, starting off. I think that would be a cool thing if that's always going to be how it starts off. I'm going to like that, so I'm going to put that up in S tier. Then we get to the title match. There was multiple parts to it, so we'll go over everything. It's Jackson Drake versus Cam Hendricks. I really feel like if you're going to have Cam Hendricks on his debut do this, he should have went over by winning. I just feel like they had everything to set up that Jackson Drake could easily have like cleanly lost last night, and it wouldn't have mattered. Even with the ref bump, he could have just lost dirty, and he could have gone out of it. He's already been called up to NXT, so like this was the call. I really don't know why they didn't. I know they're probably thinking about giving it to Cappuccino, which I'm completely fine with, but I feel like they could have at least maybe done a bridge champion between Cam Hendricks. I don't think like it has to be Cappuccino Jones and Jackson Drake, but I guess we're gonna get that. I am pumped for it, so I can say that at least. But I do feel like this was a bit of a weird build up just to kind of easily win it. The match itself, I thought was pretty decent. Obviously, a lot of extra stuff, extracurriculars. So the extracurriculars and stuff with everybody coming in there and doing that really didn't hurt or help the match. I think it was okay. I put up a B, and I put the match in B too. It's a high B. The match itself was good. I just think it was overcrowded with that. I mean, they brought Tate Wilder out there to like try to help the ref. That was just kind of a weird thing. I was like, why would he be the first guy out there? Like even in just the whole thing, like if he goes out there, then they would immediately feel like that should be a DQ or something, because he shouldn't be out there when they send everybody else to the bag. But we finished off the show with Cappuccino Jones saying that Jackson Drake owes him one because they just helped him, and that he basically wants a title shot, which I think will be the great match to put at Succession. I could also see it being on the season finale, but I think it would be a little bit better to have it on Succession. So I'm pumped for that. So I'll put it at S tier. I'll put the show as a B minus. I felt like last week's was just so good that like this kind of felt like a little bit of a letdown. But I wasn't necessarily against any of it. I think most of what this card was pretty decent. So I got no complaints. Till next time, this has been Japan. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.